Hey everybody. Today I am going to be opening and reviewing some products that I bought off TEMU. Actually ordered these products probably maybe a month ago, a little over a month ago. They all kind of came in, spread out a little bit. Actually got here a lot quicker than I thought they would. Talking to some people, said maybe some stuff off TEMU takes a little while to get here, but honestly I got everything within a couple weeks. But today I just want to open it, just kind of do a initial impression, see kind of the quality of stuff, see what it looks like, and I think we might be able to test a couple different things here too. Not crazy hopeful, not really sure what to think. For those of you who don't know, TEMU's a website step below Amazon. You know, Amazon, you can get some quality products and different things like that. So I don't think the quality's there that you can get on Amazon, but I'm told it's a little bit better than wish.com. So if you've ever been on Wish, you can buy a lot of different things, fishing lures, really a little bit of everything. Just cheap stuff, but honestly, I've gotten a few things off there and have been a little bit impressed with some things. I bought a laser light several years ago. Just some cheap stuff that honestly worked all right. Not that I would buy anything that my life depends on or spend a lot of money assuming that I'm gonna get a quality product. But hadn't ever bought anything off TEMU, so I kind of figured that I would just kind of go out there, take a chance, see what happens. And so I bought several different things that are more or less hunting related. Most of them are hunting related. I do think I have a headlamp. You could use that for some other things as well. But I'm just kind of curious what the quality is going to be like. So before I get going though, if you haven't been at the channel before, just encourage you to subscribe. I have some content out there now, but definitely have plans to put a lot more out there. So if you want to see my content, want to see some DIY stuff, some product reviews, some how-to, and also some good hunting, shed hunting content, make sure that you click the subscribe button right here. Goes a long ways towards helping me promote my channel and continue to do the things that I want to do, which is this here, just creating content for people that's hopefully useful. But then honestly, hopefully it'll help you out as well. Give you a channel that will get you information that you want, hopefully some entertainment as well. All right, so I think I had ordered 6 different things, so we'll see what we end up finding in the first package here. All right, looks like we got a few different things in here, so I'm just gonna pull out one at a time. All right, I know what this is here. So I had bought this saddle hunting bridge here. For those of you who saddle hunt, maybe you get a little bit of hip pinch. I fought it for a couple years, felt it, haven't ended up wanting to spend money to fix it or do any DIY. But I saw this on TEMU. Let me see here. Where's my sheet? $2.83. So it looks like a 3D printed bridge spreader. Comes in quite a few different colors, and then also has a clip here as well. I can't remember what that clip's for, to be honest, down here, but I know they had on there use listed for that, and I'd have to look. But can't really test this out here, but I can't imagine it wouldn't work. It feels pretty solid. And again, I'm not going to be betting my life on anything that I buy off TEMU, but your saddle hunting bridge will be coming from each side, and then it'll go over here, and then you got your carabine in between here as well. So if anything were to happen with this break or whatever, you'd have your carabiner still there. But this is just supposed to give you a little bit less of an angle coming off your hip. That will lead to a little bit less hip pinch. So anyways, I'll have to get this, get my saddle out in a tree and give that a test, but I can't see any reason looking at it to say that it wouldn't work. So anyways, kind of excited to try that out. Alrighty, what else we got in here? Okay, here is the headlamp that I was telling you about. So give this a look-see. Probably got a knife laying around here somewhere, but I've been using my teeth like that for a while. no sense in quitting now. All right, comes in a really small box, to be honest. I was thinking it would be a little bit bigger than this, but I know it folds up, and it's more of a LED light bar across the top. And then I think there's a light on the side as well. So not a crazy huge head that they'd be trying to package. So I guess that doesn't surprise me too much. And it is rechargeable. So it comes here with a USB plug. So you can plug that into the wall, vehicle, or whatever that has a USB plug. And then it has a USB-C connector here that looks like plugs in right to the end here. So I don't know if this will be charged right now, but it's got this elastic headband, so you should be able to set it pretty tight and fit it on there, so you don't have to get exact. So I'm just gonna set that something like that. So you've got your light bar here on the front, and then this little side light, and then your controllers over here on the side. Now from reading, this also has a setting where you can actually just wave your hand by it and it works. So I might have to figure that out, or maybe I can figure it out here real quick here. But there's the light bar, pretty bright. Then you can turn it down a little bit, and then there's your side light. 2 levels there as well. So bright, dim, bright, dim. Now I did just push the button here on the side. Actually, I'll turn that on. Yeah, so that's pretty sweet. So I'm gonna put this on here. So I've got the set on movement. That's pretty sweet. I'm honestly pretty happy with that. That's pretty bright. It's just got the buttons for on there, and then it's got, looks like a Wi-Fi symbol here on the side. You can hit that, and then that's your motion. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. I mean, we'll see how long that lasts, but I like how compact that is. That it's gonna fit really well in my hunting pack without taking up a bunch of space. And I paid $4.19 for that. So I'm definitely gonna kind of keep an eye on that and see how long that lasts. If this lasts, I'm gonna definitely probably pick up more. I think you could get like a 5-pack of these things. And if the batteries last good, the thing doesn't crap out on me, that could be pretty slick. I really curious how that'll end up turning out. All right, we got one more thing in here, and this is, I've actually kind of been wanting one of these for a while, and not that they're crazy expensive anywhere else, but I just haven't bought one. But it's a stand for your bow that'll clip on the limbs, and it's actually spring loaded, so it clamps on there, and then you should stand your bow in there. Again, plastic. But it seems pretty well made. Pretty hard there. You can kind of hear them clicking together. And that'll clip on the limbs on your bow. Actually, I'm gonna grab my bow real quick and we'll take a peek. All right, so I've got my Matthews Halon here. So we're going to give this a try. I don't know if that's where that goes or not, to be honest. That's not really working out for me. I feel like that's where it needs to go. But I don't think that's going to work for my bow. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong here. I think that's where it needs to go, but definitely too wide. All right, that's a no-go. At least for my Halon. I'm gonna have to look to see. I know I've seen people use them with the Halon. I just don't know what the difference is as far as where that connects. I feel like it would have to be, the limbs might have to be a little bit closer together, like not the spread here, not so big, a little bit narrower, which would let it clamp a little bit tighter. So that's kind of a bummer. Unless I'm using it wrong, which I don't think I am. Not gonna work for this bow. I have to look at some reviews and see what bows this fits. I'm sure there's some reviews that'll show what bows people were shooting that'll fit on. But if you got a Halon, this one isn't gonna work for you. Bow stand, I paid $4.89. So I'm not crazy far in debt over this. Not a big deal. Honestly, get a bow in the future that it might fit. And honestly, might be able to find a friend that has one as well that they can use that for. So quality wise, looks to be fine. Everything works good, just not fitting my bow. All right. So I will say I'm a little bit bummed about that one. I was kind of excited to get that and use it, but not the end of the world. All right, let's see what we got next. Okay, this is, kind of went out on a limb here and bought I believe I got the 3-finger version of a release here. I've never used a thumb release. I've always used the strap on that has the trigger finger and adjustable. And I've always used a TrueFire. I've heard people say good things about these thumb releases, and so I just kind of wanted to try one, give it a shot, have one. Maybe I'll fall in love with it. I don't know. But they had these for $12.08, so very cheap. That being said, we're gonna find out if it works. So it's a 3-finger version. I mean, jaws open like they should. Also has a tether here as well. And having never ran one of these, I don't know where that tether attaches. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm assuming it just attaches around here. You guys are probably watching me thinking I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, and I might not, but I've never used one of these releases here, so thinking it's something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. So then you got it here. I know some people will leave these thumb releases attached to their bow, which would work. My fear with these has always been that I'm gonna lose that thing. It's gonna be attached to my bow. I'm gonna grab my bow, it's gonna fall off or something, and then I'm screwed. I like the security of having my release attached to my hand, and a lot of times with my release, I'll tuck it, it'll fold back and I'll tuck it in like that when I'm climbing, just to keep it out of the way and I don't really notice it. So gonna be a little bit different. And then this tether's got a slider here so you can tighten it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to take this out to the range. Actually, I got a target set up over here. Maybe we'll take a shot after I'm done and just see how that feels. So, yeah, I mean, looking at it, I have never, like I said, I've never shot a thumb release, so I don't know what to really compare it to. But things seem to be fine. I suppose with comparing it to a top of the line thumb release might not be as smooth or something, but we'll give that a shot. Take a look at it later and see what we come up with. I just realized that there's a couple different Allen wrenches in here. The thumb portion here, you can kind of rock it around this lever, which will make it so you have to reach further for it or not. So that's adjustable. And then I also see an Allen screw here that I'm assuming adjusting that's going to adjust your sensitivity for that. So anyways, we'll have to give that a shot, play with it a little bit, and see how we like it. All right, let's see, what do we got next? I think I got two more packages here. Okay, about this is a laser Boresighter, and I paid $13.97 for this. So, but you could get 2 different sizes, and the larger set came with just a bunch of different more options as far as sizes. All right, so what you've got here is the main laser portion of this with an on-off button here, which is good. Laser doesn't seem to be cutting out at all. Did have to put the battery in. The main body here unscrews actually in 2 different spots. Up here it unscrews, but that's just the laser portion. And so it's this back portion that you unscrew and then put the battery in. And then you've got this back plastic piece here, which does seem pretty rigid, isn't bending. That was a concern that I had, just to see how rigid that was. And it comes with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different plastic pieces that will slide on the back here. And then a bunch of screws they sent with the unit and a screwdriver. That screw is going to screw through these plastic pieces. And these plastic pieces are the different sizes of muzzle that these are designed to fit. So I'm gonna have to look. I'm screwing this one on, which I should have looked. But they do have some flexible fins on here, and so it looks like they'll fit pretty tight. You're just gonna have to find one that fits the size of bore that you're using. So this comes with a series of expandable adapters which cover .177 to 0.5 caliber diameter guns. I don't think they are labeled, but I'm gonna grab, let's see here. So I've got my muzzle loader here, 50 caliber muzzle loader. And so I'm gonna need the largest. If this goes up to 50 caliber, I'm gonna need the largest one, which is what I have here. So I'm gonna stick that on the end here and use the screwdriver that they provided. They do go through these plastic pieces pretty tough, but then it's threading right into the main laser portion. So what's gonna happen is this is going to go down the muzzle here. And that should fit tight. And if that fits tight, it's gonna center your, this little piece here in the muzzle. This is tapered, and that's gonna sit tight against the opening of your muzzle, which should center this laser then. And then what you're gonna do when you bore sight this is you're gonna turn that laser on, and that's gonna give you a red dot down range. And then if you set your gun on a stand or a clamp, then you can sight your scope into that red dot. I actually bore sighted this muzzle loader earlier this year. I had shot it the year before, but I ended up putting a new scope on here and wanted to bore sight it, which is just gonna get you really close to having your scope sighted in. Get you close so that you can kind of fine tune it sighting in. If you don't bore sight it, you put a new scope on here, you could be way off. Which could take several rounds to try to get you close. And so bore sighting was helpful. What I did this last year is there's a way to bore sight a muzzle loader without using bore sighting equipment. And what I did is took the breech plug out, I set this on a set of clamps, and I looked down the barrel and got something in the center of the barrel as I just eyeballed it down there. And then I sighted my scope into that. Now, with a bore sighting laser, what you can do is you're gonna take this, and it should fit tight, which is crazy to me because this goes up to 50 caliber. All right, guys, so been messing around with this for a little bit, but I like the concept here of this Boresighter, but I've got a 50 caliber muzzle loader. It comes with 8 different pieces that will screw onto here, like so. And then this is tapered so that when you screw that in, this will expand. And you can screw that in. You're supposed to find the largest size piece that will fit your muzzle, and then screw it on here until it expands and fits snugly in your muzzle, and then shove it down. That is going to rest in here. It's tapered. Shove that all the way in. It's going to rest in there. Turn it on. Going to give you a red dot down range, and then you can sight your gun or scope into that. So unfortunately, you could see I was sitting there struggling for a while. It comes, like I said, with 8 different sizes. And then it says there's also a larger adapter designed for 20 gauge and 12 gauge shotguns. So I've got the largest one here that is designed for 12 gauge and 20 gauge. And then I've got this one here that should be designed for a 50 caliber, but that would not fit down my muzzle. It was just way too snug. I'm thinking, again, I paid under $13 for this, or just under 14, one or the other. What I think I'm gonna end up doing is sticking that in a chuck of a drill bit or a drill, and just running that at high speed on some sandpaper just to narrow that down just a little bit. That would fit in my muzzle loader. But yeah, kind of disappointed. I thought that that would fit good just because it says it'll go down 0.177 to 0.5. So anyways, I'll have to give that a shot. I don't have my other guns down here to try this. Now, if you get the more expensive set, it comes with a whole bunch more adapters. That's probably going to narrow it down. I got the cheaper one thinking that with these expandable adapters, it would fit fine. It doesn't, so I'm going to have to figure something out. But I think I can probably, like I said, trim those ends down with some sandpaper, run that over it at high speed so that I trim them all the same, then I can make it work. But out of the package, at least with the firearm that I have here, my muzzle loader, this did not work right out of the package. So let's close this up and move on to the last package that I've got, which I think I know what these are, and I think these are some lighted nocks, which I'm really curious about. If you shoot bow, you know that lighted nocks can be expensive. I did a review on some lighted nocks and comparisons several years ago, right as I was getting the channel started, actually under a different name at the time. But it's been a while. I actually have plans to go to the range and compare some of the top nocks that are available to bow hunters now. And kind of the most popular color is the green, so I ended up going with the green because I'm going to throw these in that review of the different nocks later on this summer. And so you want to check out that video when it comes out. But with the green, I'll be able to kind of compare the best. 20 grains in total weight. You can get these in red, yellow, blue, green, purple, and 7. Whatever that is, looks like it's multicolor. Really curious to see how these work. Actually, I got a target set up over here. We're probably gonna go shoot these in just a second. But with the lighted nocks, some of the things that I'm looking for are that high visibility. If you've got a lighted nock on, you got it on so you can see where your arrow's at, so you can recover it, see what's on it, see how your hit was. If it stays in the animal, you can see it from a distance. You can get to where that animal dropped that arrow, which hopefully will put you on blood as well. Battery life is a plus as well. So we're not gonna be able to see that right away. But the other thing is how easy they are to turn on and off. Some lighted nocks are a pain in the neck to turn off once they're on. And so we're gonna take a peek. All right, one thing I'm noticing is I don't have any adapters. A lot of lighted nocks will come with adapters to fit certain arrow sizes. So we're gonna find out if they fit my arrows, but if you're shooting a different size arrow, might not fit. Let's see here. All right, so I'm shooting a gold tip kinetic 200. And so we're gonna find out if this nock will even fit my arrow. And the answer is no. That nock will not fit a gold tip kinetic 200 arrow. So I will not be shooting these, but I'm kind of curious. Let's see, I know I got some arrows laying around here. Got some random arrows laying around here. This looks like a Walmart arrow that has a little bit wider of a opening. Okay, so that fit inside of that. So I'd have to see what the inside, yeah. So I'm gonna have to throw a caliper on here. When I do the lighted nock review later on, I'll throw it on there. Actually, you know what, I'll measure this before I put the video up and see what we've got. But I'll at least be able to shoot this out of my bow, just to see if they light up. But it looks like there is a button in here. All right, that's actually pretty bright. And it definitely will turn on when I shoot. I think it's just a simple button. And then the easy on and off switch here. Actually, you can do it right with your finger, just a button on the side. So, kind of unfortunate that it doesn't fit my gold tip kinetics. Definitely a heavier arrow, you know, so it's gonna have a thicker wall. So this isn't gonna fit. And like I said, no adapter, so you're kind of stuck with what you've got. No. Nock lit up just fine. I'll walk up there and take a peek. Lit up just fine, nice and bright. And you can see that's plenty bright. Camera's having a hard time focusing just with this low light, but plenty bright. I would have no complaints whatsoever. With that, turns off easy. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that compares to some of the other lighted nocks on the market today, which we'll find out this summer. All right, so that is all I've got for us today. Those are my first 6 items reviewed off TEMU. Hope this video helps. Hopefully it keeps you from buying some products that maybe you would have bought if you've got the same bow that I have, or shoot the same arrows. That'll keep you from buying those products and look for something different. But subscribe, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click that button. Make sure you see all the content that I have coming out. Like I said, I've got some videos coming out this summer on some how-to, some modifications that I made to saddle, some climbing tips, as well as some projects that I got going on that I think you'll find interesting. And of course, I'm always posting some shed hunting and hunting videos as well that I think you'll find entertaining. So thanks again for stopping. Have a good one.